you be the one to finally finish me?
Simply amazing. We look forward to seeing Metal Gear Solid 4 exclusively on PlayStation 3 very soon. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us, Kojima-san.
いかがでしたでしょうか。
How was it?
この映像はですね、リアルタイムです。で、ゲームもこのクオリティで、遊べます。
This, again, is real-time footage, and you'll be able to play in this quality.
で残念ながら今日は時間がなかったのでトレーラーですけども、来週東京で行われます、7月17日の、プレイステーションプレミアではゲームの実機プレゼンをします。
Sorry, this time, because of time, we only have the trailer. But next week, on the 17th in Tokyo, in the PlayStation premiere, we'll have a demo. I will play a demo to demonstrate.
戦場に潜入するとどうなるのかとか、戦場で潜入感というのはどういうことかというのを、実機のゲームプレイをしながら皆さんに、お伝えしたいと思います。
There, I could probably teach you a little bit more on the details of how is it like to have a stealth game on the battlefield, to participate in the battlefield as well.
とんでもないことになってますので、ぜひ、皆さんご期待していただきたいと思います。お待ちしております。
It will look a little crazy, and I think you'll like it, and I hope that everyone could come to Tokyo next week.
See you in Tokyo. Thank you.
Thank you again. Thank you so much.
See you in Tokyo. Thank you.
Thank you again. Thank you so much. Well, I think it's time to move on to the games from our own worldwide studio. So to take you through those, let's pass things back to Phil Harrison. Phil?
So, how on earth do you follow the genius of Kojima-san and Metal Gear Solid? So I thought I'd dress in a rubber Ratchet and Clank suit and do a flamenco dance for you. But we're here in the home theatre to show you a great way of showing off some of our key exclusive games coming this financial year for PlayStation 3. So let's jump right into it with a franchise that has sold 13 million copies on PlayStation platforms. The latest edition is Ratchet and Clank Future, Tools of Destruction from Insomniac Games. So let's see what we've got for this very cool game that features not only addictive action gameplay, but some of the most vibrant imagery I have ever seen in a video game. Let's take a look.
Brian Algier.
Ratchet & Clank Future Tools of Destruction is the beginning of a new saga. What happens is at the very start of the game, Ratchet witnesses the destruction of Metropolis, one of the signature cities of the series. There he will encounter a villain named Emperor Tachyon, who is bent on destroying Ratchet and his entire race. And this is where some questions about Ratchet's history begins to come up, something we've never explored in the Ratchet & Clank series. Ratchet & Clank Future Tools of Destruction is only possible on PlayStation 3. The level of sophistication, the vivid details, can only be done on that system.
Ratchet & Clank Future Tools of Destruction.
Very nicely done, and also nice to be out of that rubber Ratchet suit. So now let's take a sneak peek at a new game from Japan Studios in Game Republic. This game, Folklore, combines role-playing game and action-adventure elements with a very innovative battle style to create a stunning work of art. Let's take a look at Folklore.
Eric Baum.
Folklore is sort of this dark fairy tale. There's a lot of mystery involved, a lot of travel throughout the netherworld. I've never been on a project that received so much praise. It's got a good mix of a lot of different genres, whether it's action, fantasy, RPG. It's really kind of this very unique experience. Users aren't just pushing buttons to capture a creature in Folklore. They are wrestling them to the ground. They're yanking their souls out. It really changes up the gameplay. It involves the user. Folklore really is the game for anybody. It's got great story, great character, beautiful art, fantastic gameplay. I can't say enough good things about it.
Folklore.
So looking at the special theatre that we've built for our next game, Heavenly Sword, from developer Ninja Theory. This is a beautifully rendered action-adventure title that takes full advantage of the cell processor and Blu-ray disc capacity, allowing for hundreds of enemies on screen, each with their own individual AI routines. Everyone, this is Heavenly Sword.
Tamim Antonyades.
Heavenly Sword is an action-adventure game, and it aims to emulate the experience and the bombastic nature of the big summer blockbuster. You play as Nariko, a fiery redhead, and she's in possession of this sword that was meant for a god on this brutal mission of revenge. However, as the sword was not meant for mortals, it slowly drains her life and will ultimately kill any mortal who wields it. It's an extremely story-driven game, one that really tries to raise the bar in terms of dramatic performance in a video game. Something with a lot of stylistic beauty, something with poetic grace that focuses on animation, that creates a world where everything seems alive, as well as having amazing kick-ass action. You have an immense range of combat moves, beautiful animations. We go from really tough one-on-one fights up to group fights that are tightly choreographed, just like they do in the movies, right up to settings where you're fighting amongst thousands of enemies at a time. The art is generated in such high resolution. Really, without Blu-ray, we wouldn't have been able to create Heavenly Sword.
Heavenly Sword.
Our next game was a standout at the launch of PlayStation 3, being the first sports game ever to achieve full HD with 1080p visuals and a frame rate of 60 frames per second, producing some incredible gameplay and imagery. The franchise is back and updated for a new season. Let's take a look at NBA 08 from our San Diego studios.
Eric Ross.
You definitely want NBA 08 on the PlayStation 3 this holiday season. Where else are you going to get 1080p and 60 frames a second? Where else are you going to get weekly content of relevance that just took place in the NBA? Where else are you going to be able to get a level of depth where everything you do applies towards uber meta goals, so everything is meaningful and relevant? Where else are you going to get to go online and challenge people and track how that works? Not just in a 5-on-5 game, but through a progression mode. Take your improved character on a one-on-one match, so it's mano a mano. You're only going to be able to do that on a PlayStation 3, and you're only going to be able to do it playing NBA 08.
NBA 08.
It was a great honor to debut this next game to many of you at GDC earlier this year, and based on the buzz, I think you liked what you saw. Media Molecule is bringing a truly unique vision to PlayStation 3 that transcends genres and gamer demographics. The essence of Little Big Planet is best summed up in 3 words: play, create, share. At GDC we showed the play aspect, but the following focuses on the create, empowering gamers to create their own gameplay experiences with incredibly powerful tools embedded right into the game. Let's visit the amazing world that is Little Big Planet.
Alex Evans.
Little Big Planet is something that makes most people who pick it up laugh the first time they play it. Little characters which you can customize and which you can act with. When you run through this world that's like a miniature filmed world, the experience of Little Big Planet is not just about playing it, it's also about creating. What we want to do is, the first releases that we put out, we're going to really make use of PlayStation Network to allow the game to evolve with the community. So we don't really think of Little Big Planet as being out when you first get it in your hands. Little Big Planet is going to evolve over time. And so the three things that we call it, play, create and share. And so playing is one thing, creating is another, and then sharing is showing off to your friends online using the PlayStation Network.
Little Big Planet.
Our final game I would like to show you is a title from a studio that has always strived to push the PlayStation game systems to the utmost, garnering amazing results. The studio is, of course, Naughty Dog, the brilliant minds behind Jak and Daxter and Crash Bandicoot. And this game is Uncharted: Drake's Fortune. Let's take a look.
Evan Wells.
Uncharted: Drake's Fortune is Naughty Dog's brand new PlayStation 3 franchise. The cell processor is allowing us to do things with animation that we were never able to do before on the PS2. Our characters are much more detailed. You can see the emotion in their face. In our past games, our main hero had about 300 frames of animation. Everybody was very excited about the fluidity of his movement. Well, in Uncharted, our hero Nathan Drake has over 3,000 animations, and they're constantly being blended together to create almost an infinite variety. Right now, we've got the most talented group of developers we've ever assembled here at Naughty Dog, working on the most powerful hardware out there. Uncharted is going to be the best game Naughty Dog's ever made.
Uncharted: Drake's Fortune.
So there you have it, just 6 of the 15 exclusive games that Sony Computer Entertainment alone is bringing to PlayStation 3 this financial year, all of which will be playable in the arcade area immediately after this presentation. But there are more. I'm pleased to announce here today, for the very first time, a game from Sucker Punch, the team that brought you the hit Sly Cooper franchise. With this game, we make our debut in the emergent gameplay sandbox genre. Players will discover and grow extraordinary powers, fighting villains in an organic and open city as they choose a path between superhero and anti-hero. Are you ready to become infamous?
Some would call him an anomaly. The tragedy he unleashed created powers within him